All right, welcome back to the Fantasy Tippler. It's been a minute. I've been busy. It's not my full-time job because it's a passion, hobby, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's talk about what's going on around the NFL. A lot of rumors. Let's start with that. Wanted to start with Lavista Shenault. I saw something that was posted about Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson saying how impressed he was with Lavista Shenault on the special team. He thinks he has a stronger role. I can't remember the exact quote, but like a stronger role on the special team as a returner. And to me, that says abandon all ship. Like, we're done. Like, I was a huge fan of Shenault when he came out. I had him in a couple of my dynasty leagues. And now I'm like, I'm trying to get pennies for him, or I'll cut him in one league. I'm just like, I'm done. Because most of the time you work your way from special team, not towards special team. So I just don't think he's going to have any fantasy relevant in dynasty or, especially redraft. So don't take him in best ball. Don't get him in, don't let him get on your dynasty team, and definitely don't even go ahead and block him out, when it comes time for the redraft. I'm just nothing against the guy. I'm just off him completely. Now, if things change during the year where he gets bumped up to wide receiver 3, maybe I can take a look at him, but no, I'm done. Next, Mitch Trubisky. The Steelers had pretty much announced that he's going to be the starting quarterback for the 22 season. And I'm like, duh, no kidding, man. Some people really think Kenny Pickett's going to really make an effort to start. And right now, he's taking 13 reps. And remember, the Steelers is a great organization. Mike Tomlin is one of the best NFL head coaches that's ever coached. And I think he knows that if you try to put Kenny Pickett out there, you're going to ruin his chance of being a really good NFL quarterback. So they're going to let him come up slow. They're going to, see if Trubisky still has it, which I think he does. I don't think, in redraft, I don't think you should bother with him at all. But in best ball, sometimes I take quarterbacks a little too late, and now I have to sprint to grab 3 of them towards round 11 to 18 or 20, depending on what format he's using. And between Carson Wentz and Mitch Trubisky, sometimes I'm like, I look at that option and I'm like, all right, who's going to be my number 3 quarterback? So, yeah, I mean, something to keep an eye on. He could pop, but I don't know. Outside of best ball, maybe dynasty. I think it's obvious that he's going to play at least 8 games as a starting quarterback, no matter what their record is. Jauan Jennings, wide receiver, San Francisco, reports showering him with love, saying he's really connected with Trey Lance. And I tell you what, he got on my radar last year when he really stepped up and performed when everybody on the team was like out, hurt, something. And most of my dynasty leagues have just gotten done with the rookie draft, so I don't have anywhere to stash him. But if you do, or if you've already started your rebuild and you have like a spot to add, like get rid of an old veteran, I would go ahead and grab Jauan Jennings, because I think he's going to become. He has the potential to become number 2 after Debo if Debo stays in San Fran, which he is going to stay there. I mean, like I saw one report where like he Debo Samuels hadn't like rescinded his trade request. I'm like, that's June and July for the fantasy football world. Like, we're just looking at rumors and it's just gossip, high school gossip. So, Jauan Jennings, if you have him on your spot, go ahead and grab him. I'm not targeting him in best ball yet. It's a little too early, and there's too many other players, like one I will mention later in a minute, that will have a couple of games that productive game. And Jauan Jennings, it's just too far down the depth chart as of right now. That could change. Keep an eye on him. Definitely put him on your watch list. Grab him if you have room. Have some fun. This was interesting. A report that came out. Eno Benjamin is the early favorite as the backup running back to James Conner on the Arizona Cardinals, and that is very surprising to me, considering they just paid a little bit of money to get Dale Williams over there, and Dale Williams is an excellent backup running back. I don't believe what they say. I think Dale Williams is the backup running back, so don't go pumping up your draft chart, grabbing Eno Benjamin everywhere. If you got someone you want to, and you got James Conner, and you want to throw him on your bench, sure, go ahead. You do you. I just don't believe that report at all. I think Eno Benjamin, if he was going to do anything, he would have done it by now. I think he's a permanent safety pick for a running back room for an NFL team. But I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. This guy that I'm going to talk about next, I was really upset that I wasn't able to grab him in my 2 tight end premium dynasty league. And that guy is Daniel Bellinger. I hope I pronounced his name right. Daniel Bellinger, tight end for the New York Giants. And he is reportedly taking first-team snaps because they just they sent always broken Evan Ingram down to Jacksonville Jaguars, and so they don't really have anybody right now except for Ricky Seal, and he can't stay healthy either. So Daniel Bellinger was like somebody I was really trying to get at like the end of the second round, and someone grabbed him before I could. So if you're in a dynasty league, definitely go grab him. Because I think I don't think he'll be productive this year, but if they give him like even 20% playing time, he's going to pop earlier than normal. Because the golden rule, tight end takes 3 years to develop, and then they pop the 3rd or 4th year, depending on like what team they're on. They have really no tight end. They haven't really made an effort to sign any veterans besides Ricky Seals-Jones. So Daniel Bellinger has like great opportunity. You got a place to stash him on the bench and do it. I've heard that he's out on some waiver wires for whatever reason. So go grab him. Next, this was kind of surprising. I've been kind of wanting to keep this guy under wraps, and so for example, when I talked about Jauan Jennings recently, I would rather have this guy than Jauan Jennings. That is Jamison Crowder. He joins the Buffalo Bills and is competing for a slot position with one of the other receivers. And I'm like, Jamison Crowder has this. And he is basically free in all formats. Redraft, dynasty, especially best ball. I have him. I'm grabbing him in almost every single best ball draft I'm doing right now. So there's reports coming out as he's impressing in the slot, and it's like, no kidding. Like, this guy has been productive, his entire career. He's just been on really bad teams. Now he goes to one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and he's going to be going into a spot with Cole Beasley. Now, Cole Beasley, if you remember in the past, was a great late round best ball wide receiver, because when he popped. And I think Jamison Crowder is going to be that. He's going to be a little wide receiver 3 sleeper that's going to have some big games, and we love that in our late round best ball wide receivers. So go get him. Pay attention to him. Dynasty, to me, if someone wants to give you a fourth rounder for Jameson Crowder, sure, why not? I don't know if you're going to be confident enough to play him, but in best ball, grab him everywhere. All right. So a while back, Colin Kaepernick worked out for the Raiders, and it was like an official workout. And it was kind of hush-hush, and they said he performed well. But now Warren Sharp is reporting that his tryout for the Raiders was a disaster. And I thought that was hilarious. Because I really want Colin to play in the NFL one more time. Just one more time. Because he did lead a team to the Super Bowl as a backup. So he needs, I just want to see him on the field one more time. So, but the report is it was absolutely a disaster. And I'm like, no kidding. The last time he played was 2016. And honestly, if some team actually did sign him, regardless of that bad pro day, or what do we call a pro day, tryout or whatever, you can sell some tickets, man. Just bring him on for 4 weeks, let him play in the preseason game, sell some tickets. People show up for that game. I would watch that game on TV. I mean, come on, let's use a little, marketing sense here. So, but yeah, that's funny. It's reported he actually didn't do that well. No kidding, man. So, all right, let's talk about my favorite saga right now, and that's Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G and where are they going? So, everybody has talked about this, and I'm going to try to break down all the rumors I've heard so far. I mentioned on my Twitter feed, I don't understand why Cleveland Browns just don't do a basic swap with Carolina. It's over for them and Baker Mayfield. They have ruined that situation. And dude, if they're actually thinking about holding on to Baker Mayfield in case Deshaun Watson gets punted for more than 8 games, which is a real possibility, and they want a half competent quarterback, you can't do that to your team and bring in a guy who doesn't want to play for you anymore and force him to play just so he gets his contract, which is stupid. Now, Sam Darnold, Carolina Panthers, had the exact same contract as Baker Mayfield. I don't understand why they just don't do a basic quarterback swap. Jacoby Brissett starts the year. Sam Darnold is his backup, possibly competes for the starting role. And Baker Mayfield goes to Carolina, which I think he would fit into that system really well. But now Seattle Seahawks are back in negotiations again. For Baker, I think Baker would prefer to go to Seattle. That would instantly upgrade DJ Metcalf, not Tyler Lockett. Jimmy G, there's no way that Jimmy G goes to Seattle. I just don't think that the 49ers are going to give one of their playoff winning quarterback to a division competitor. So I really don't know where Jimmy G is going to go. It depends on where Baker goes, I guess. And there's a real possibility Jimmy G is still on the 49ers come the start of the season, which is, I really don't know if he's going to be the backup or he's going to be the starter if he stays on the 49ers. I've got him in one of my dynasty leagues. I'm holding on to him because there's a great possibility that he lands somewhere and blows it up as a decent, backup quarterback for, Duplex League. I think with Baker, he is most likely to go to Carolina. I think this is working out to knickknacks, and the more time runs on, the worse position that the Cleveland Browns are in. and it's just not doing good management, man. And Jimmy G, once he gets out of this, rehab, and he starts working that shoulder, I mean, for whatever reason, I keep thinking of Houston. Like I think Houston's got to be in the conversation for grabbing Jimmy G, unless Chicago does something really stupid, which I don't think they will. Well, that's all I have for today. I just figured I'd come on and ramble for a bit. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful start of the week. Talk to you next time. Follow the show on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Fantasy Tippler and Twitter at Fantasy Tippler.